Fear. Fear is a powerful motivator. We have a male rapper vocal setting here with a little reverb added in Logic. For this intro, when I was like maybe 24, 25, I was living in San Francisco. I was married and I was working full time. My wife was in graduate school, and we had this vague plan of when she got out, we'd get a house, and I'd be a stay-at-home dad with a recording studio, and she would work, and blah, blah. You know, that's what we talked about. At least that's what I remember we talked about. Could have all been in my head. But anyway, I'd go through these like intense periods of unhappiness and wanting to get divorced, and then not, just being totally happy. And then I'd go through these periods of hypersexuality, all this shit that I later realized was symptoms of bipolar. And it turns out maybe the doctors were right on that. But anyway, at a certain point, I was in one of those unhappy periods, and my dad came up with this idea of moving the plan forward by putting a down payment on the house now for us. And then we would take over the mortgage when she got out of school. So, and he made it seem like there was some money that was going to come to me from one of my grandmas that I hadn't used for college or something like that. But, later on, of course, I found out that was just all bullshit. And what it was by that time I'd gone off the deep end on acid. I'd been in the mental hospital. I'd driven my car across country several times. I'd lived in that car. And I think my dad was just scared. Some people take acid and they're never the same. Well, I did acid, and my dad was never the same. He saw what I went through with bipolar early on, and I think he just saw an opportunity to make sure I had a house, a roof over my head, because he didn't know. And he was probably right about that, but there came a certain point when, right after we got the house, of course, I just didn't want to be married anymore. And so we got divorced, and I remember just feeling the darkest dejection of like letting my family down and her down, and just feeling like a real shithead. And I remember saying to my dad on the phone, well, I guess we'll have to sell the house, and I wanted to. I wanted to just be, I was a bike messenger. I just wanted I wanted to have a band and live with my band and be a messenger, like punk rock, riding around in a van. And I was living in this beautiful house. It was nicer than my parents' house. And my dad goes, no, we'll just keep it as an investment. And I can just hear that word investment just echoing out through time and blanking like a fucking Wi-Fi signal, blanketing out over and covering my whole life. And, ever since then, I think most people have just assumed that I'm set for life. Sure, I have free rent. I've always had free rent, but the house still has maintenance, and you still have to live, and you still have to do stuff. And it wasn't like there was some additional fund that came with that. And I don't blame people for thinking that. But anyway, the reason I bring that up is my old drummer Jack called last night out of the blue, and I talked him into being on the podcast, and he brought that up really almost right away. My economic circumstance, and I realized I haven't escaped the stigma of that. So anyway, talking to Jack, it's a hilarious conversation. We certainly have a history, and we'll probably need a lot more than one podcast to cover it. But here he is, Jack McFadden, drummer extraordinaire and graphic artist, and in some ways my little brother, and he was goddamn pain in the ass, but I love him. Hey, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Can
you hear me okay? I'm trying out this new app because I started to do a podcast, so I have this record a call feature.
Awesome. I've been listening to your podcast.
Well, I've been wanting to call you to have you on.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. That's on the spot shit.
Well, I mean, right now, I'm recording this. I'm not going to use it without your permission, but I'm just letting you know that.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm recorded. That's fine. Whatever.
But listen, how are you?
Oh, man. Life is complicated. But great.
It's complicated. Life is complicated.
No, I have a great career now, and I'm an important person. I'm a corporate designer, just like I always wanted to be, and I'm an important guy. So with that comes a hell of a lot of headaches. Welcome to life, Is
it lucrative enough to make the headache worth it?
Oh yeah, I make $40,000 a year, and in Ohio that is what it is.
In Ohio, in San Francisco, that would be 4 times that.
What's that?
In San Francisco, it'd be 4 times that.
Exactly. So sometimes I talk to Nick, and he's talking about all the money he makes and how great he's doing, but I realize that if he were here, he'd be making the same kind of money.
Yeah. I have my friend James who's an ad exec, and he makes a shit ton of money, but he, it all goes to rent and blah, blah, blah. It's all gone at the end of the month. And
yeah, standard of living, standard of living. And you, did you buy the pet store?
I did not buy it. In fact, they sold it, and I lost my job. And then I started walking dogs, which
you should have bought that place.
It was not worth it. Trust me.
I know, it's a money pit, right?
Well, it's not so. One of the main problems of it is if you buy the business, you would think at a certain point you could have some employees and then you'd have some freedom. What's the point of having, But in fact, it's impossible to find workers in San Francisco. Everyone's either got 3 jobs, or they just don't want to work because they don't have to. And it's just crazy. I managed the place for a little while, and I couldn't get anyone to work there. It was just nuts. So. Well,
question for you, me.
What's that?
I know you have a trust fund. How's it hanging?
Did you say I have a trust fund?
Yeah, you always did, right?
I never had a trust fund.
Well, you have an inheritance.
I don't have anything right now other than free rent.
You're running out.
Well, I never had any money to begin with, dude. That money, the money that we used to run the Hayride was, all came from my dad, and my dad's fantasy about the band making money. He was the guy that always wanted to monetize everything, and I just wanted to make him proud. So, but the band was run on not too much money. The main reason that we were able to even be a band and tour is because we got to live in that house. So that's the main thing.
Just painted it to make it completely wrong.
What's that?
Then Faulkner painted it to be completely wrong.
Oh, Faulkner is all about money, dude. It's his. Whenever I see Jamie, I remember the last time I saw him, he brought up the fact that he doesn't have a house like I do, so that's why he's got to do whatever it is. He brought it up 4 times. I'm like, dude, I have no desire to talk money with that guy.
Equity. You do have that equity, and that is
I don't
a multi-million-dollar house.
It's a multi-million-dollar house with a large, still a large, it's not paid off, and I don't own it, so there's no equity to me yet,
Well,
the only thing that, the bad thing, which would be my mom dying, was if the house goes to me, how would me and Shamira fucking pay for it? We don't know.
No.
So that's just where we're at.
So it's not. Damn, that's a conundrum.
I know. I've had that conundrum my whole life. My dad basically put a down payment on a house for me and my first wife, and we got divorced.
And I would like to apologize because I thought everything was taken care of.
Well,
I always did, and I'm happy to be wrong and apologize for assuming that shit.
Yeah, well, I'm not offended. Everyone in my whole life has just thought, that I'm rich.
I love your dad, and I love the 4 years he gave me my free ride.
Yeah, you got a free ride. Your famous. Remember your famous words just came back to haunt you.
Yeah, but I mean, I loved our time. I loved it, and I called you because I need to apologize.
Oh, look, can I just
No, listen, I'm getting married, and I wanted you to be there, but I don't have enough space.
You don't have enough spots?
I don't have enough spots. And
That's cool, dude. You know, I can't even fly right now, so it doesn't matter.
I know. So, but the thing is, I figured you probably wouldn't want to go anyway.
Are you
You
kidding
didn't know
me?
anybody other than Nick, and it would be awkward. And you guys.
What
would
about
be like,
Eddie?
Oh, I'm in the Midwest. Where do we stay? And blah 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 blah. You don't really want to do it anyway.
Well, hold on one second, would you?
Yeah.
Three of these for $5?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Stop for the liquor store, so.
Oh, nice. What are you drinking?
Well, I was just drinking a little wine at home, and then when you called, I figured you must have had some whiskey. So then that made me decide to stop in and grab some whiskey here.
No, my whiskey's. I still have some whiskey, but I went in tonight.
That's cool, man. You still have some, but you don't do it very often.
Yeah, no, I keep my bullet for special occasions. I'm on the gin tonight.
Bullet. Oh, that's the kind of whiskey that's. Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen that. But dude, don't worry about the wedding. Come on.
All right. Well, I just
You're
want to apologize because I want you to know that you're a super important human being to my well-being in the course of my growing up in life. I just don't have space.
Yeah, well, that's cool, man. I appreciate it.
Because we have to. We don't have the money for the big fucking thing.
What's that?
We don't have the money for the big fucking thing.
Just a couple right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, here, and then do ordering and stuff. I'm on the phone, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Come and talk to me. Maybe you get a few hours here.
Okay. I'll come up.
It's talks only.
I'll come and talk to you.
Okay, Tony was, I don't know what to do. He lives in Massachusetts. Maybe he doesn't want to work, or I don't know.
All right.
I'm not sure.
All right.
So you live close by, right?
Yeah, I live right over there. I got to run, man. Hello?
But anyway, the point is, I haven't talked to you, and I haven't talked to Kurt in close to 10 years now.
You know, I'll give you Kurt's number if you want.
Yeah. Would you?
He's finally just starting to, like, you know. Are you still you're on Facebook? Are you on Facebook?
What's that?
You're still on Facebook, aren't you?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have Kurt blocked on there?
I did for a while because he was.
I mean, I haven't
bombarding
blocked
me with shit I didn't want to see.
I haven't blocked on my page, but he can still email me.
He was just getting crazy for a while, but I love that, and I'd like to talk to him again.
You know who he's rooming with now? They just got a place in Wilmington. Ian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. Ian, when he disappeared from here, he went somewhere for like 15 years and, according to him, raised his kids. And then he surfaced in Athens, Georgia, and Kurt got in touch with Kurt, and then he went and lived in Whiteville and worked for Kurt's dad. And, you know, I think he wanted to get Kurt involved and play music with him, but Kurt was just such a terrible mess at the time. It didn't really work out. But now Kurt's supposedly sober, you know, and they're giving it a go.
If he is, then that's great.
Yeah, I mean, he's...
But I've always had a theory. I love Kurt, but I think he might be schizophrenic.
Well, it's possible, dude.
It's a theory. It's just a theory.
You know, I've met many people that fall on the side of, like I'm bipolar, right? I could smoke weed, it wears off, and that's it. It kind of makes me manic, and that's why I like it. But people with schizoaffective disorder, and I've known more than a few, they can't smoke weed because it takes them to, like, right into the land where the dragons are there and the fucking paranoid, just crazy thoughts, you know?
Oh.
And it's like you need antipsychotics to combat that shit, so.
Do you have any idea what Amanda did to me? God damn, she ruined my life.
Amanda?
Yeah, oh yeah.
The girl that lived in the front, what's her last name? We don't need to say her last name. How did she ruin your life?
Oh, well, let's talk about that.
Well, you ask.
Well, since you ask, it turned out that after almost 5 years of time with Amanda, she was a call girl the whole time.
Are you seriously?
Yes.
Wow.
She made her money doing whatever the fuck she did. But she used to say I have modeling gigs, but she didn't have modeling gigs. She had escort gigs.
Wow.
And I found out, and it ruined my life, man.
It ruined your life.
Yeah, I mean, the woman I loved was deception.
Well,
Seriously, I mean, I wanted to marry that woman, wanted to spend my whole life with her, loved her so deeply, and she was all deception.
I hear you, dude. Well, that's there you have it. Now you can write songs forever, and that's always going to be in there.
Oh, but it gets deeper because I have written songs, and now I have a woman that I really love and I'm going to marry, and she doesn't want to hear those songs.
Well, I mean, I
All
don't
those
play my songs
have
for my
to go
wife.
to the side because new songs have to be written. You can't do old songs.
I do all the time.
Around your shoulder.
Yeah,
No, I have to learn to write songs about new people and new stuff. And here's the thing, I don't write songs. I don't. I'm not good at it. I mean, I am good at it, but I'm not good at it like other people are.
You mean
I'm a better producer than I am a songwriter.
Yeah. Are you pursuing producing?
Yeah, I got a buddy who I'm making an album with him right now, and his songs are fucking amazing. But he has done music by himself his whole life. And he's got, he's got to have at least 50 demos. And they all suck. The songs are great, but the production is terrible. He's the guy that, literally will do drum parts on his demos with tap stuff. And it's just all fuckery.
You mean I'll tap a Coke can here for my beat or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, it's all fuckery. And what he's never had is a rhythm section in his life to make it glorious. So that's what I'm doing for him, and we're doing the full album production thing, and we're doing it. He lives in Columbus, I live in Ohio, and that's a 3-hour separation over here in Ohio. But we figured out how to use.
Where's Columbus?
Columbus is in the center of Ohio. I'm up in the northeast of Ohio.
You said he lives in Columbus. You live in Ohio.
No, he lives in Columbus. I live outside of Cleveland.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So
I'm in the northeast. He's in the center of Ohio. So the point is we figured out the Dropbox thing, which is he came up and we've done some sessions together, which basically was listen to a click track on headphones. I'll play bass, you play rhythm, you sing. Let's get a scratch, and then we build everything from there. Just like you and I used to talk about.
Yeah, it's still the way to do it.
Scratches.
It's still the way to do it,
It is, and it's working.
You play all the drums.
Yeah, later.
That's cool.
Later, but for now, I'm programming them. But I'm not doing shitty programming. I'm doing the drum beat that actually is the song and the full thing that is the song.
But
in the meantime, he's recording in his basement in Columbus, clean, totally clean, through an amp. You know what I mean? No, actually, he's not even using the amp anymore. Amp sim. And he's just going straight direct box in, and the whole goal is to later reamp in a studio with his tracks. If you know what reamping is.
Yeah, it's like how they did. It's how come we like David Gilmour so much.
Yeah, and it's working, and it's sounding fantastic.
Well, you sound enthused about it. That's the main thing.
Well, the deal is, it's not complicated. It's not complicated music, which makes it easier. It's very Rolling Stones.
Yeah, well, that's in your bag.
So, yeah. So when it comes time to lay real drums, it's just straightforward shit. But I'm gonna do it in a studio, and he's gonna do the vocals in a studio. Everything is reamped in a studio.
You don't have a studio at your house?
I do, but not to the degree that I
not
want.
the setup.
Yeah. No, I mean I need the people with the mics. It's all about the mics.
You know, I love 57s and 58s now.
Well, I do too. And any good producer will tell you those will get it done. But at the same time, room mics make all the diff. You know.
I think the only real difference is the number one difference is if you have someone like yourself that can actually play drums.
Right. Drums do make the diff. They do.
It's one or the other. If you don't have that, like, you know, I don't even use drums anymore because I don't have I have a drummer guy, but he's, you know, we're both.
Hey man, I'll program drums for you, and they'll sound like real drums.
I can do that. That's not a problem.
Oh, but I mean, they'll sound just like real drums when I get done with them.
Yeah, but who would want that?
I'll program fills and all that shit.
Dude, I've spent the last 15 years of my life doing that, and now I just like to play straight 2 mics, you know, one on my voice, one on the guitar, and then add bass to it, add some synths to it, or keyboards to it, that's it. And then, you know,
I listen to your stuff, and I swear to God, you're still using samples of me from the mid-2000s.
I don't have any samples of you, but I haven't used drums in quite a long time, so I don't know what you're talking to.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I listen to the tracks, and I'm like, I swear to God, that is my kick drum from X amount of years. Maybe I'm just making that up in my head. There's always that possibility.
You mean like it's literally just the isolated sample of your kick drum from that crappy kit we got at like Guitar Center or whatever?
Yeah.
No. Well, I have like a crappy kit from Haight-Ashbury Music now instead of, you know, and but I don't even use it. I haven't recorded drums with it since I bought this fucking 10 input interface, you know. Just so satisfying what I'm doing.
I wanted to tell you, I've listened to some of your stuff recently, and I love the reverb that you're doing, and I love the country angle that you're doing. Keep doing that stuff. It's beautiful. Have you listened to Orville Peck?
I've heard of him. Yeah, I've listened to him a little bit.
God.
I just started listening to kind of some old country stuff again recently.
His first album sounds like 1972 country. It's beautiful.
Have you watched that country music documentary by Ken Burns yet?
No, not yet. And everybody keeps telling me to do it.
Dude, it's insane. It's like you just sit down and then you get up like 15 hours later.
And that's what's his face, right?
You mean narrating it?
Yeah.
Is it Chris Christopherson? I can't remember. I just watched it.
No. I'm talking about the guy that did the documentary.
Ken Burns.
Yeah. It's a Ken Burns thing, right?
Right, yeah, he made the whole thing.
Nobody makes documentaries like that fucking guy does.
I know. I don't even like baseball, and I could probably watch the baseball one, you know?
Yeah, right? And it's like, I don't even care about baseball, but I'm into it.
All of a sudden, I want episode 5, like... Yeah, so what the fuck? So who's this girl? You're getting married, huh?
Oh, so her name's Danielle.
Oh my gosh, really?
Oh my gosh, her name's Danielle.
Well, that's the name of my first wife.
I knew Danielle since I was a child. Her older sister I went to high school with, but I've always known Danielle as the little girl that hung around her older sister. And then she grew up. And just a couple of years ago, just by timing, we ran into each other. And she's fantastic. Great sex, great everything.
I'll cut that part out of the...
I just mean she has fantastic taste in music. Fantastic taste in music. I mean, like, Dano, when I met her, I was into all the things I listened to on AM radio when I was a kid. And she knew every single fucking song that I grew up into the 70s. And she's so much younger than me. She's 5 years younger than me. And she has no business knowing that AM radio shit from the 70s, but she knows all of it.
Yeah, well, that's because they kept playing that stuff forever, you know? Everyone that grew up afterwards.
But she knows the bands. She knows the people in the bands. She's a hardcore fucking music lover and art lover, and just she blows my mind. She's an amazing fucking human being.
Well, good for you, buddy.
And she makes serious money.
Yeah.
Way more money than I do. Way more. She makes $200,000 a year.
Does that
$40,000 a year.
Does that compromise your manly feelings?
No, I'm cool with it. Because we don't really. She doesn't live lavishly. She's all about saving it.
Well, that's a good. You know, it's just like, what are you going to save it in though? Gold or weapons, or what's going to be the monetary form like 50 years from now?
No.
Who the fuck knows?
We have talked about that, about investing into gold and that kind of stuff. We've talked about it. Because you never know what the hell's going to happen.
Do you guys already live together?
Oh, yeah, we've lived together for almost 6 years now.
Oh. Did you go the full restaurant, down on one knee ring route with her?
I took her to an island in the Carolinas.
Of course you did.
I got down on my knee amongst the red ants.
That's the next name of the next album.
As they bit the shit out of me and proposed. As ants were biting the shit out of me.
Oh my god, dude, that's an album's worth right there.
The red ants were biting the shit out of me on my knee, in the dirt, on an island in Carolina, and it was beautiful, and it blew her mind because she didn't see it coming. She thought I was never gonna get married.
She's like, I'm never gonna pin this fucking guy down.
Yeah, that's what she thought. She really did think that. And in the ring I got her, the ring I had it made custom by an artisan, and it blew her mind.
What's the difference between an artist and an artisan?
Well, an artisan specializes.
I see. Yeah, gotcha.
So I got it made by a jeweler, a guy that he basically fucks with molten metal. That's his gig. So what I did is I had my grandmother's ring and her 3 diamonds in her ring melted down to make, and I actually bought another bar of gold to throw into it and threw that all into the mix, and he made this big chunky fucking beautiful ring that is hers, and she was completely pleased. And she still to this day looks at it in the light and makes it sparkle under the lights. She loves to make it sparkle under the lights.
I thought you were going to say she looks at it in the light trying to see if it was real or not.
No, she likes to make it sparkle under the lights.
You just got enough info in this one conversation for a whole song at least, amongst the red ants, and she likes to make it sparkle. You know, like that's good shit there, dude.
I just don't write anymore. You know why? I don't know. I'm more about tones and songs than I am lyrics anymore.
Yeah.
And I used to be more about lyrics than songs. So
maybe you have less desire, less need to explain yourself now than you used to.
I think that's exactly what it is. I don't have anything to prove anymore, so I don't care. And I was talking to Nick on the phone the other night, and Nick said the most poignant thing, like he always does, because, you know, that fucking guy can be more poignant than anybody I've ever known in my life.
Yeah, but he can also be, you know...
A douche. Yes, I know.
No, well, I didn't say that.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, so what did he say?
He's gotten big in his head. I know he has, but I still love him. But he said, dudes like you and me, we've gotten to the point where we just want to do music for us. Not for anybody else, just for us. And that's the truth.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Like, after all the shit we've been through, we've come to realize music is a gift. And you can't capitalize on that gift. You just have to do it for you. And if anybody's listening, great. If they're not, so be it.
You know, I agree. I've always agreed with that, though. You know, like I told you just a little while ago, was...
I know you've always thought that. You were ahead of us on that point.
Well, I mean, I was ahead of you on saying it. Now, whether or not I believed it, you know... But I think Nick was closer to that always.
Yeah, it has to be for joy.
Kurt has always been there just for joy. Yeah, like no, never really had any like ambition, you know.
I don't
frustrating, you know.
Well, but at the same time, we had our moment. We missed it.
Yeah. Well, you know, we had our moment, and that was. I had more than one moment, and I'm really grateful for that time that we got to tour, because I was 38 when that happened, and like most people, their band breaks up in their 20s or whatever, and then they have the rest of their lives, and they never. I got to revisit it. I was like a whole nother shot at it, you know. It was good to realize that, hey, this isn't really the life I like, you know. So.
Well, you need to realize I was my 20s, and that's why it was frustrating as fuck.
Well, we all had our frustrations, and we were all frustrating for different reasons. So.
I wanted it so bad. But then I went to the new up, and I learned my lesson.
Of just being the drummer?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
I went right to the Sonny and Cher show, and I got, I tried to write, and they placated me. And some of their best songs were mine. And, to this day, if you go on ASCAP, it's full of fuckery. They claim that their songs are theirs when they're mine. And, yeah, we'll see how that works out in the future.
Well, unless I miss my guess, I don't think the new up's going to be cracking the top 20 anytime soon.
That's exactly what Nick said last time I brought it up to him. He's like, dude, you don't need to worry about it because they're not going anywhere. They're not top 40, so there's not going to be any money lost.
Well, after I moved away from LA, moved back up here, my friend had a new band, and this other friend of mine called me. He's like, dude, they're playing Window Washer, like one of your songs, you know. And I was like, really? And then so I'm like, yeah, they probably won't do anything. And then they got signed, right? And Johnny, my friend, told him, Johnny, you got to fess up to Dano. So he calls me, and they sent up papers, and I got like, I could either just sell them the song for $500 or get like some percentage on the record or what, you know.
Oh, percentage.
But it was like a
big percentage at that
point.
Like
living in LA though, like I saw so many. Well, I just saw so many bands get signed, and I just decided to take the money. And then they came to they came to town, and Johnny, the guy, told me, he goes, "Oh, it's not even one of our main songs, right?" And I'm like, "All right." So I took the $500 and I went and saw them, and I waited the whole set. They didn't play it, and then it was their end song that they ended on. It was like super powerful. It was by far their best like thing they had, and I was like, "God damn it!" I was like, "No, I know this. I'm gonna fucking turn on MTV tomorrow and see this fucking shit."
Like,
so
that's like, what if I redid Boxes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Give it to you.
I mean,
give it to you.
I'm in an eternal dispute about Government Secrets with James, my buddy James, that we co-wrote that song, but it predated, before even there was a song. There was the house across the street, and we would talk about it, and James just came over one day playing those chords, and then I wrote the chorus and some more words. What's
that guy doing now?
He's the ad exec, dude. He makes like more money than God.
Oh, well, there you go. He was always a smart kid.
He's a smart kid, man. He's got, I don't think he's 100% down with where his soul is at right now, but I'm hoping he'll make it through.
Well, San Francisco's not what it used to be. That's for sure.
It is if you still live here.
I know, but you live there, and like all I hear is the horror stories of how that town is not what it used to be.
I know, but that's mostly, if not 100%, from people that left or had to leave. You know.
Yeah, but
What do they expect it to be like?
Why? But you're still there. You tell me. Are all the hangs gone?
I mean, I still go. I go busking on Haight Street with my little amp and reverb, and play music down there fucking all the time. And then I go to the Gold Cane. I go to Gus's Market, and
right, so the cane is.
Yeah, the Hobson Shores is still there. Erios is still there. They knocked out the front, and now there's a window, which is great. You can sit in the window and watch the world go by.
There's a window at Maria's?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Different owners, and it's, but it's still like there's neighborhood weirdos that go there. So,
dude, I miss San Francisco so much. It's ridiculous.
The old San Francisco, though, you're right. Like it's just changing. Like, I've lived here for almost 40 years. You can't expect.
I'm not gonna lie. There are times I miss getting laid every Tuesday and Thursday night.
Yeah.
And that kind of shit. I miss that. Part of me misses that lifestyle. I miss being a player, and I miss being a slut sometimes.
Well, remember when you told me that you knew, I think about this all the time. You told me that, you're like, Dano, I know I'm good looking. And I know it's not going to last forever, so I'm making the most of it.
Exactly.
It's fucking hilarious. And I was like,
I get the chance.
And I was like thinking, like, I remember when I was young and good looking, and fucking bastards right. God damn it.
I did so much fucking in the 10 years I was there. I can't even, oh my God. So much.
It's never going to be enough. That's the thing I finally learned about it,
It's never going to be enough, but so much. I mean, I had such a great time.
I'm not going to edit this out of the podcast, dude.
I can't believe that I didn't end up with serious STDs.
Here's a good story. Sheila kicks Kurt out, right? And he comes and lives in the garage here, and his where he was sleeping is literally where I'm sitting right now down in the studio. Like I have a little yoga mat here. Oh, I know. My cat is flopping in front of me. But right above where I'm sitting is where you and Amanda's room was. And so imagine Kurt back here just doing pills. Sheila kicked him out. The band's over. And all you hear is you fucking her every night. The fucking bed shaking. Like, oh, my God. It was literal hell for the guy.
I've honestly never thought about it from his perspective.
Oh, yeah. Well, he used to, to the point where, yeah. He probably, think about this, he probably lay down here and fucking jacked off, right? One floor below you.
I hear it. I remember he had his VHS collection, and it was fine. He had a fine VHS collection of porn. Kurt did. He had 12 tapes, and they were, if I remember correctly, there was Buttman and Rio 1 through 5. He had hold on, I'm being dead serious. Buttman and Rio 1 through 5. He had Big Tit Mamas. He had Backdoor Princess, Volume 1. No, Volume 2. Backdoor Princess is Volume 2.
You're making this up.
No, I'm not. I'm not making this up. He had this shit. You can ask him. He had a video.
No, wait. It was Volume 2.
Because I watched all of them. Come on.
Of course you did, dude.
I was 20-something. Come on. I had my low moments. I had to get in Kurt's tapes.
Have you ever heard when Norm Macdonald talks about things like he never expected, I never knew you would need a computer to masturbate. It's so weird to think about the concept of putting in a tape. That's also pre-internet.
It's also pre-internet.
Well, we had internet here during that time, but I don't think there. We didn't have smart TVs.
Not the internet like it is today. Not the same thing.
It's true. Remember when you used to have to wait for the Hun to load the page?
Yeah.
It's like, God damn it, come on.
No. VHS was gold. I know we had time.
VHS.
The only thing we wait for was wobbly tape.
Did you ever go to the video store with a girl and like try to steer her towards the girl on girl porn? See, like if she's into watching that.
Oh, that's Lilith.
You ever heard that experience before?
Sure, that's Lilith.
Oh,
we enjoyed that thoroughly.
Right, but you didn't really have to steer her over there, did you?
No, she was all into it.
No last name.
It's like anal porn.
Yeah, well, now whatever we're talking about right now,
reality, but she liked watching it.
If you're gonna, our phones right now are hearing this, and it's gonna be popping up on the side of ours.
I don't care. You know what? Jeff Bezos and whoever else can listen to everything I have to say. I don't give a fuck.
I don't know. I'm saying it's just gonna be funny. The ads that are gonna pop up after this conversation. You know.
Oh yeah, anal porn queens.
Anal porn queens.
Volume 2.
Not volume 1. Volume 2.
It's always volume 2. There actually is no volume 1. Just go straight to volume 2 because it leads the consumer to believe that volume 1 is a success. So volume 2 needs to happen.
Good advice.
Yes.
That's like 6 minutes.
Like Monty Python.
What's that?
It's like Monty Python.
So I'm probably going to hang up now and consider this installment 1 of My Life in the Hayride Cult.
You recorded all this shit and you're going to make a podcast out of it.
I'm going to put it up on my YouTube channel. It's called I Could Have Been Somebody and I Am. But,
well, if this is going to be...
We'll do another one.
Buddy, let me just state this. I could have been somebody on the drums. I could have. I was a great drummer. I was a great drummer.
You were a great drummer.
I was a great drummer. I could have played for anyone, whether it be jazz, rock, country. I could have done anything.
What about the lesson, though, you said you learned when you went to the New Up?
I learned that people don't care how good you are on the drums. They don't care. What most people care about is what you can do for them. And a drummer doesn't have to be good. A drummer has to be adequate. When they get good, they're just an inconvenience. You know, now they want to play too many notes. Now they want to have say in how the songs are written. Now they want to do stuff. Now they're a problem.
But I don't consider that a symptom of being a good drummer. A good drummer is someone who could do all that stuff but doesn't and serves the song.
Well, I've always served the song, but the point is, a good drummer wants to have creative input and help writing a song. Because, I mean, that's what drummers do. A good drummer is kind of a producer. You know, they understand the texture of the parts. They understand the way to set it up so it's big and small and all that stuff. And then they get a big head. And then they think to themselves, I want to help produce. I want to help write. Well,
are you talking about just yourself or all drummers you think do that?
I think all drummers do that. I mean, I think all drummers that are playing in a band realize after a while, if they're good drummers, they realize that they have the ability to help write the song. You know? And so they want to put their input in. And they want to say things like, hey, this should be an intro without the drums, and then the drums should come in, and then and they want to try to produce, and they want to start to help to write the song. Well, songwriters don't want help in that way, especially when they have their own idea of what they're doing.
I think songwriters
You're just a
need
person
help,
getting in
but
the way.
producers don't want it.
I don't think songwriters want it. I think producers do want it. Songwriters don't want it.
Songwriters the bare bones songwriter, a lot of times it seems like they're open to the band forming an arrangement around it and the drummer coming up with a part, which is writing a part, versus like a producer. Like in the Hayride, the whole time we were a band, like I would already demo these songs and had parts and ideas, and I was literally a producer, and so that was what it was almost going to fall short, because it, you know, it was.
God bless your heart, you were a slave to demoitis.
I was a what?
Demo something. It's called demoitis. You demo something, and then you wanted to hear it that way.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It was like it was a downfall. But
So
it's neither here nor there. I do agree with you though that you could have been somebody.
Well,
and you are somebody.
no, not musically, but.
I mean, the journey is still young, you know.
I suppose.
You're just getting married, you know.
We'll see.
I predict there'll come a time when you pick up just an acoustic, just you in the garage, and you come up with like 12 songs and pare them down to 10, and it'll be the most honest music you ever made, and you'll have made it just for you.
I appreciate you saying that, and I really do hope that happens in my life.
I bet it will.
But on the writing end, I feel pretty still these days. I'm
It's
better
just a phase.
helping other people than I am writing my own stuff.
Well, it's good. I mean, it's good for those other people who are lucky they have you to help them. That's for sure.
Oh, aren't you the sweet?
I'm a sweetheart. If I could be a sweetheart to myself.
Last of the big time sweeties right there. That's you.
All right, buddy. Well, it was good. It was a fortuitous time for you to call because I'm just getting this whole interview thing off the ground, and I definitely was going to call you. I suspect we can do another whole episode because I'm doing this
online, and I'll let you have it.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
And I won't see you.
When are you getting married?
August 8th next year.
Wow, August 8th. Right on. Well, I'll have plenty of time to fucking give you shit before then.
Oh man, I'm designing the invites and the whole thing, and it's a big deal. You know, I'm a designer, so I'm designing the invites, and it's a big deal.
And then your girlfriend goes, "No, I don't like those.
Yeah.
do it this way."
All the time.
And that's called marriage. That's what marriage is all about.
Marriage in a nutshell. I really like the 24 hours you put into this. I don't like it.
Exactly. Well, just remember, if you need any advice, I've been married 4 times, so you can probably ask me just about anything.
I'd go to hell and wait, buddy.
Have a good time, buddy. Merry Christmas.
All right, I love you. Thanks.
Love you too.
Cheers.
Okay, bye-bye.
so well, losing inhibition, shedding skins, and exercising demons in earthen fire pits. But it all leads to the same place. It doesn't matter to me much if God exists, 'cause I know that if it does, I'm on St. Peter's list. 'Cause heaven is all around me, it's all around you too. It's only that sometimes the sky is gray and others blue. But it all leads to the same place, the same. Well, up in heaven, I hope that he lives. The blind old dog I had when I was a kid followed me everywhere across this land. He was the best dog boy ever had. But I wonder where he found out there. This guy's still alive, 'cause he still cares. I've always just suffered from an old dog's pains. Does he still tremble when it thunders and rains? He was a good dog, he was my friend. Sometimes I pray I see him again. But I wonder what we found up there. Is God still alive? Does he still care? Is God still alive? Does he still care? Now Jesus better take him out on long walks through amber waves of grain and green corn stalks. He was a good dog, he was my friend. Sometimes I pray I see him again. But I wonder what he found up there. Is God still alive? Is he still dead? Is God still alive? Is he still dead? Now I got all my eggs tucked away in this basket. If this don't work, I just might fall through the cracks. And you might find me scribbling in the rain under the streetlights, moaning as the paper falls apart in my hand. But it just takes a while to get your ducks all in a row. I spent the better part of a decade searching for my mind. When I stand before you cleansed, I swear I'm ready to go. picking at scabs. I searched his house for peace, but all I found was half a man.